Angry guy here, and women are furious that men are avoiding them. Guys, if you're enjoying the content, let's get this channel to 100,000 subscribers. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like the video, and turn on notifications to never miss another video again. Now let's begin. So women are furious that men are avoiding them. You can see here on this article, young men reveal why so many of them are single. Dates feel more like job interviews. And this is just one of many articles that have recently come out. It illustrates that more than half of all men, roughly 63% of all men, now completely avoid women in society. That's a massive number. And it's even bigger than that in the sense that these are all single men and they are not actively approaching women. They are staying away from women. They are not going near them, but they're watching social media and women are actively telling them, don't approach us, never speak to a woman that you don't know. So these men are listening and women don't comprehend it. Of course, men are gonna be blamed for this. They are single, but they're not mingling. New data from the Pew Research Center has shown that 63% of men under 30 are now single, up from 51% in 2019, guys. So as of 2023, this has actually gone up by 12%. This is insane. Insane. It was already over half of all men, but now it's 63% of men that are single and not approaching women at all. They're not speaking to them, they're not going near them. This isn't America. And women feel great about this because Chad and Tyrone are still out there, and they'll blow the back out, but hey, everything's all good. So the uh the events of 2020 left people spending a lot of time alone, and coupled with the high expectations from women for something serious. These are the main reasons that men are choosing not to avoid women, according to the article. However, this actually comes from a study. However, they're not being honest. They're refusing to admit that men are no longer approaching women because they are afraid of speaking to women that they do not know. Dates feel much more like job interviews now, much more like, what can you do for me and where is it going? Said Ian, a 28-year-old high school teacher who lives in Astoria. The getting to know you period is gone, and that doesn't feel so great after coming out of spending so much time by myself. He recalled a recent first date that went quite well until the woman interrogated him on their walk home. Interrogated him. She literally asked me, would you rather our kids go to public school or private school? Followed by 7 more extreme questions about getting married. I just started responding with what I knew she would hate the most to get her to leave. Experts agree that women are certainly more than ever before. That women are certainly wanting more than ever before. Yeah, this is madness, guys, beyond madness. The overall picture is that if a woman is going to go on a date with a man, chances are it's not for a casual fling. Ronald Levant, professor emeritus of psychology at the University of Akron, told the Post, especially if the woman is kind of getting close to 30. She's thinking about the biological clock and wanting to have a family, he added. Breslow isn't looking to settle down and get married anytime soon, so he'd rather have a casual fling. The way dating is currently just makes me want to hook up locally with no strings or stress attached. He says, fortunately, that part comes very easy. I'm unmotivated to search for something serious for the time being. Andrew Bruno, a 28-year-old nurse from Belmore, New York, said flirting in the post 2020 era just isn't as fun as it once was. Being able to naturally approach people while out isn't like it was pre-2020. People are still much less likely to leave their group or clique at a bar, said Bruno. They're certainly less talkative, and that's lowered my incentive to put myself out there. He also said that the events of 2020 more than ever before made dating apps the central means for people, and he's not a fan. That just really isn't my style. Like, there is a week long prerequisite before you can think about getting involved, even for casual things. Bruno said, I'd rather take all that effort and put it towards my career. And like Breslow, he is in no hurry to get hitched. Guys, as men get older, time works on our side. Time works on our side. These women have completely priced themselves out, made themselves unapproachable, and they don't realize it. These men, time works on our side. These guys can wait another 10, 20 years and get their money up. And for those who don't want to wait, it's quite simple. Go overseas, find someone overseas. There are all these women overseas looking to build up their communities, build up their lives. There are women in Western, even in countries like Ireland and Germany and even France. I know you're like, guys, it's so bad in predominantly Westerns, predominantly white English speaking Western countries right now, that even some other countries where, where there are that are Western countries are a better option than the United States and Australia and Canada and the UK. I'm also still very young. Bruno said, I don't feel the need to rush, especially if people don't act as naturally as they did before the events of 2020. Why would I put it all out there for someone who can't or won't hold a conversation? They can't communicate anymore. Women are terrible communicators in the modern day era, guys. I told you, women they can't compete. They basically say, what can you do for me? And they interrogate you. For Mike, a 25-year-old in Queens, it's his not the opposite interaction, social skills that are still battling a bad case of long events of 2020. I definitely can't walk into a room and go talk to someone I'm interested in like I used to be able to. There's something psychological going on here, guys. It feels like my outgoingness has suffered some atrophy. Mike, who withheld his last name out of embarrassment, told the Post. He's also having less physical intimacy with women post the events of 2020. So he's not being intimate with women. I have definitely been going online to take care of my urges more than I have by seeing people. Mike admitted, yeah, he's going online onto OnlyFools and other platforms, and looking something. God bless him. God bless him. Stay off the streets. He feels as though he lost 2 prime years in his early 20s of being able to date and have fun without worrying about being in a serious relationship. Now he's under pressure to find a long-term commitment, but can't put himself out there. I also feel like I'm caught between two worlds, he said. Ultimately, I've just been crashing and have had neither lately. Guys, these men are walking away. These men are done. Someone says, I can definitely see that women have higher expectations than ever before. I consider myself a good catch for many reasons and above average looks, and it's very difficult for me to date American women in New York City. Oh, guys, look at that. I'm just not their type and vice versa. And my observation is that many women consider themselves a 10 out of 10 and deserve the perfect specimen of a man. And the few women that have realistic expectations are already in happy relationships. I moved to Colombia, and the women, that's a passport, bro. Guys, passport, bro. I moved to Colombia, and the women here are very sweet, kind, and open to meet different people. And I know a lot of Americans have stereotypes of women here, but they're generally unfounded. Dating is very different, and in my opinion, it's better. I actually enjoy meet women here. Bro, that's a passport, bro. Passport king. Guys, passport king. First comment, passport king. I told y'all, guys, right now the passport kings is a trend. Within 10 years, it will be a normality. Within 20 years, it will be a tradition. Trends become normalities become traditions. Within 10 years, it will be completely normal for men to go overseas and find a woman to have a relationship with, to date overseas. It will be a complete normality. That's what most men will be doing. It'll be the normal thing to do. And then within 20 years, it will be a tradition where it'll be completely abnormal for men to have relationships in Western society with women in Western society. It's going to be something that doesn't happen. It will be a trend. It will be a tradition to go overseas and find a woman overseas and date overseas and date out of Western society. Western society are passing. They're on complete decline. They're on a complete decline, and they're going to basically demand that men help the government needs to step in. The government can only do so much, and as I said, men will just work few hours. The more the government tries to tax men, the more men will just avoid working longer hours. All right, the less money men will make. It's the truth. It's the honest to goodness truth. Science says unrealistic expectations and standards on both ends. A lot of guys want Instagram model types. A lot of girls want tall, dark, handsome, and rich. Anything less is considered settling, which is a fate worse than passing away for this generation. There are so many of these exceptional people to go around, and the reality is that most of us are average. The average woman doesn't want the average man. Most men are willing to settle for the average woman. The average woman who is a 3 says that she is a 10, and she says that the average man who is a 10, she says the correction. The average woman who is a 3 says that she is a 10, and she will look at a man who is a 10 and say that he is a 1 or a 0. This is how modern day women think and behave. They don't like men. Modern day women, they don't like men. And the truth of the matter is that guys can go overseas, like you saw earlier, into Colombia, and they're fine, and they're happy. They can go to tons of different countries, and the women there are fit, feminine, friendly, and genuinely enjoy spending time with men. They don't despise them. Colin says, I can only talk about, this is from March 2023. So these are up-to-date comments. I can only talk about life in the East Coast, DC, and New York City, and the standards of women truly have increased to an insane degree. I am a 32-year-old college-educated man who makes decent money, who goes to the gym 3 times a week, in great shape, who takes pride in his appearance, who has good social skills. Let's keep going. Who can't find an average young lady 6.5 looks and agreeable this department. I have many friends who are single. We also have similar physical attributes as I do, and some even make more money and are still single. Online dating for a man is a waste of time. However, the abundance of choices, even my coworkers have told me about this, has caused women to think that they have endless options. The standards of women have caused 2 of them with graduate degrees to give up. Guys, I have 2 masters, by the way, and I should have my doctorate, but I dropped out. Anyway, and here is a fact. In 2012, I was told it was coming. My sister, who graduated from Cornell in 2010, said, quote, if you want a wife, get her now. Women are changing. They think they have a higher calling. They are redefining everything. Hurry up. That's what his sister told him. I didn't understand what she meant. And being in my early 20s, obviously I didn't listen. And now I see how correct she was. Guys, all these men are going to become these are men walking away from society. It's not the Migglypuff movement. This is MWA. This is the MWA movement. This is men walking away from Western society and Western relationships, where they're choosing not to date, not to marry. They're focusing on themselves, and that's really it. They're walking away from relationships. They're walking away from Western society, and they're doing enough just so that they will survive and thrive, and nothing else. And if they want to date, if they want to have a relationship, they are going overseas. I told y'all what the normality will now become, where men will literally fly out of the country to go to Colombia, Costa Rica. Dominican Republic is going to be a big hotspot. Everything is going to change, by the way, guys, because a lot of guys worry about the safety of doing this. Everything is going to change, because as more men begin doing this, there are going to be security companies. There's going to be a lot of things changing around the world as men begin doing this to make it a much more safe experience for guys. So they'll have check-ins, insurance, everything. So these guys will go to the countries, and they'll be able to know, what to do, who not to speak to, stuff like that. They'll have security around them. So they'll have like people that will check in on them. It's going to be very different. It's going to, a lot of services are going to be created, because right now all these men are leaving. And of course, these countries, they want that money. They want that American money. So these countries are going to start fighting for the passport kings. They're going to start fighting for the passport kings. And if you try to make it hard for men to fly out of the country, it's only going to make it worse, because the more the government tries to make it difficult for men to leave, the less that men are going to interact in Western society. 63% of men are no longer approaching women or having conversations with them. 63% of single men. When women are like, I don't care. Guys, think about, guys, don't forget, 45% of all women between the ages of 25 and 44 will be childless in come 2030. 2030. That's roughly 6 years from now. We're almost in 2024. 6 years. 6 years, guys. And we don't actually have to wait for the 6 years for that to happen, because, guys, that's what is projected to become 2030. Long before that, we're gonna get to 35%, 40% before, and then we'll get to the 45%. And there's no sign of it slowing down. So guys, if this is 2024, if this is 2024, where things, and that's how it's going to be in 2030, right? And that's only 6 years from now. Then what's it going to be like another 5 or 6 years after that? Well, it's that number is going to skyrocket up, and those estimates can change. It can get even worse. I'm telling you guys, nothing lasts forever. I told you nothing lasts forever. Sherwood says, unfortunately, you can't impart onto young people just how fast it all goes by, and you realize that it's not all about physical intimacy and money and things. The joy of family, once gone by, can't be recovered. There's no going back. I wouldn't trade my wife, kids, and grandkids for all the money in the world. The journey, the struggle, the sacrifices are what gives meaning to life. You can't put a price on that. Someone said, all true. And family not only gives meaning to life, as you say, but really it is legacy. It is the legacy you can eventually leave. Dickinson says, laughing at a 28-year-old who thinks he's young and can keep playing. Guys, this person's a fool. Guys, they're treating men like they're women. It's so sad that this individual at the 46 likes. Guys, men are different from women. We can have children in our 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. There are so many guys that are walking around with that are starting at 50. Men and women are not the same. Life for us gets better as we get older. For women, it gets worse. Women have all the power at the beginning because of their youth and vitality. But as they get older, it declines. By 35, that's a geriatric pregnancy. Women also prefer older men. A lot of women prefer older men. How do I know this? Because all the 18-year-olds and 20-year-olds, who are they dating? Who are they having relationships with? Who are the people buying them, spending $6,000 a night on them? Who are the people doing this? Some 18-year-old, some 19-year-old? No, it's men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s. All these young women are out there being wined and dined by older men. So these people are foolish. These young men need to wake up and realize time is on your side, young man. Time is on your side. A man who is 70 years old and has his life together has significantly more options than a woman who is 35 and has all the money in the world. Because her money is her money, his money is his money. And at the end of the day, the man wants to be the leader in the relationship. The woman subconsciously wants a leader, but then she's trying to be argumentative, disagreeable. Most women just cannot handle relationships today. They're not relationship material. This is it. Guys, help get this channel to 100,000 subscribers if you're enjoying the content and you want to see more of it. Let me know what you guys think about everything we discussed here today. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA. Been walking away, and cheers.